So it's been about 10 minutes. It's 20 to 6. And if we remove that beaker, you can see that we've got pretty much a solid mass. We'll break that up. There's a lot of solid in there. So what I want to do is just ice that for a little bit. To minimize the loss of material. That should bring the last little bit out of solution. And you'll notice it's a pretty good solid mass. So it's going to take a little helping to get it out of that flask. Why we use the smallest flask possible. But hopefully I can get it out of that flask more easily than I could get it out of the test tube last time. And our ethanol should be nice and cold now, our 75% ethanol. So we can use a little bit of cold solvent to just wet that filter paper down again. And then we will dry this off so we don't get any water. And give it a dump. Kind of try to help as much of that out as we can. You can see it's a very nice fine powdery crystal. I'm going to wash it with a little bit of the cold recrystallization solvent. I want to get as much as I can out first, so I don't lose too much during the washing. I'm going to use a very minimal amount of solvent to do the wash. Just going to swish that around, get it to pick up as much of the other solid as I can. And we'll just do that process twice. Try to pour it right down the middle of the filter cake so we're our filter cake, and then just a couple of drops down through the center, just to take any impurities that are trapped in that solid out. Just about 6 drops. I don't want to lose the material like I did last time. So we got a lot more solid. Which will just dramatically increase our percent recovery. Just let a little air come through there, and then that's going to have to go in the desiccator, of course. So we're going to grab a 10 ml beaker. And I'm actually on page 59 now. This is going to be DCL-10-59A. I had to continue that from page 49 because I was out of space. Tape that label on, get a mass on this beaker. So it looks like 8.482 grams. 8.482 grams, and I'm going to need a 10 ml beaker to sit that in. And we're going to steal one of those from this other hood. I don't have any spares. And then we need a little micro spatula for scraping that down. So break our vacuum. Filter adapter away. And we're just going to scrape that solid out. Nice fine powder. Nowhere near as sticky as the material was. It's a little sticky because it's still wet, but not as bad as the last batch. So it does appear that 25% ethanol, 75% water is a better recrystallization solvent for this compound than 50-50. We were able to recover a larger percentage and not lose as much during the wash. The filter paper behind this time. Just a little bit of solid stuck on my spatula because it's a little wet. See if we can scoot that off of there with this pipette tip. Get that to fall into the vessel. So let's get a mass now, and then we'll get a more accurate mass after it dries. So that's looking at about 8.718 grams now, 8.718 grams. Got a wet solid. And we'll stick that in the desiccator. Next to the other one. I'm honestly not sure if that's the same desiccator or not, but they're all labeled, so we'll be able to tell. So that's a more successful recrystallization.